is Johar. Welcome back to my channel. So I haven't done an Authortube tag in a while. I figured why not. So I'm going to do the Authortube Christmas Tag. And so I've created a few Authortube tags. I think I've only made one that I've created so far, which is the Julian Phantom's writing tag, which was inspired by the Julian Phantom's book tag, which was created by Peyton Reeds and Brittany and Books. So you guys should definitely go check them out and check out their videos of it and my video of it. And so yeah, but in the tags that I have created, some of them I do where it's like the prompts I just use for any character from any of my books that I have either already made, already started, or haven't even started yet, but I already know the characters because they've already come to me. Because I have so many ideas, and most of them I've already come up with, like the characters. I think there's one I still haven't really formalized the characters and stuff, but the plots and settings and stuff is, I just haven't figured out pretty much their names. That's all I really need to figure out for that one last book. But so yeah, some of them I've created is like, I think Julian Phantom's writing tag was one of them, where I kind of just use a bunch of my characters from a bunch of different my stories as in the prompts. But some of them I also just do from one book, and the ones I do is just from the only answers I use are from one book can actually be used multiple times for different books you make. So yeah. And let's just get into it. Okay, number one. What will your main character's favorite Christmas song be? So I don't really know many Christmas songs, especially not classics. I mean, classics I might know like the title of, but I really wouldn't know much about the actual song because I don't really listen to Christmas songs. The only Christmas song I actually listen to is Mistletoe by Lucy Hale. It's the only Christmas song I listen to, the only one I will listen to, so I went with that one. And Jasmine isn't real. This question was for like the main character, right? Yeah. Jasmine isn't really a hopeless romantic. I mean, honestly, she never really thought much of love. I mean, yeah, she would like to fall in love someday, but she also didn't think that was possible because she just assumed she'd have this arranged marriage, and then, you know, things happen and she falls in love with someone that she technically isn't supposed to be with. So it's kind of like forbidden romance. I hasn't really gotten into the forbidden parts much yet, and it did kind of when they were first getting together. It's like, but with everything being so chaotic, they haven't really gotten to the forbidden parts. But once everything starts to get back together towards the end of the book, there will be a little bit of forbiddenness before the book ends, the final book. So yeah, they'll have to get past that. But Mistletoe, it's a nice song. It's not one of my favorites of hers, but it is a nice song, and I do think Jasmine would like it. I don't see her actually. She's been through enough, so I don't see herself torturing it by listening to any kind of songs that has a little romanticizing in it, because she wouldn't want to put her through that since she doesn't think she'll ever be able to have that. But after she admits how she feels, I'm not going to tell the love interest name because I don't want to spoil you, because it's something you just need to read as you go, see how they click and connect. Well, they don't actually click, but they do eventually connect. I try not to spoil too much for you. So I don't really see her, but after she admits how she feels about this guy and they get closer, I can see her starting to actually appreciate some more. I still don't see her going all head over heels over love and romance songs, but I do see her, being okay, feeling emotionally okay to listen to those kind of songs, because now she finally has that in her life, and she listening to it is no longer torture for her, if that makes any sense. So yeah. Number Number 2 is, out of all your characters, who will be the best gift giver? Now this is easy. Ben. He is such a sweetheart, and he really cares about other people. And when Jasmine came to him for help, she's like, even though I am the princess, I could technically make you help me if I want to, but I'm not going to do that because it's not who I am. So I do need help, and I can't speak. She's basically us giving him a choice. If she told him all the risks and dangers of accompanying her on that journey, and gave him the complete free will of whether or not he wanted to help her or if he just wanted to send her on her way. And before she told him about the quest and stuff, she was like drawn to this like forbidden forest, and she was almost going in when he actually stopped her, and then he brings her to his cabin where he feeds her and gives her a room and a bed and lets her shower and rejuvenate pretty much. And then that's when she gives him this choice of whether or not he wants to stay in his comfy life or go with her on a possible death-defying journey. And he ends up going with her anyways. And he didn't really even need to think about it that hard, because Ben is just such a sweetheart, and he wants to help people. And he's not just helping her because she is the princess. He's helping her because he cares about people. He cares about other people. Even if he probably shouldn't, he cares about other people. He helps other people. He saw this woman. He didn't even look at her as a princess. He kind of just saw this woman who is all by herself, who's alone in the world, and who needs help, because he doesn't want her to go by herself. So he agrees to help. And she's a very thoughtful and observant person to begin with. And he's just always he's so giving, and he's so kind and loyal. He says there's someone who would do anything for you. And so he's just, I love him. I do. He's actually my mom's favorite character from my book. But I just, because of how observant and thoughtful he is, I can see him getting everyone the one thing they wanted more than anything. And he will definitely be the best gift giver during the holidays. He definitely will be. There's like no chance, there's just nothing in my mind can make me think otherwise that someone could be a better gift giver than Ben. Like, he's the gift giver. That will be his, like, I don't know. But yeah, definitely. In any book I've read, or any book I'm planning on writing or have written, I don't think there will be another gift giver as amazing as him. Maybe close, but not just quite. Number 2, out of all, I already did number 2. What am I doing? Number 3, what is your main character's favorite thing about the holiday? So, Jasmine, I don't know, at the beginning I don't see her really caring much about holidays, probably because it's not like she's ever really had any family traditions, anything to really be happy about during the holidays. I can see the holidays kind of being a sad time for her, because it's like, okay, so Jasmine will be, so I'm trying not to spoil things, so this is hard. Give me a minute. So basically, I guess this part isn't really spoiler, because you find out all of it in the very first chapter. So this isn't a spoiler, so I'll give it to you. Jasmine's mother abandoned her when she was young, and her father neglects her pretty much. And so she doesn't, and the only person that was ever there for her growing up was her nanny, Alice. So her entire life, the only thing good about the holidays would be the time she could spend with Alice. But then Alice dies before my book starts. She died because the book starts like right at her anniversary of her death. It was a few years. I don't remember how many now, but it's been a few years. And so after she died, it's like the holidays were just terrible, like completely terrible. They were never like happy, but at least when she was with Alice, they were somewhat happy, because Alice would be the only one that would really give her any gifts. Alice would be the only one that really would be there for her and give her anything to be happy about. I mean, that was pretty much her day-to-day basis anyways, let alone the holidays. And I can see Alice just wanting to make the holidays even more special for her, so she won't be sad as long. So, but now that she's actually have people she cares about, people that care about her, her favorite thing isn't gonna be the Christmas sweets, the decorations, the presents, or any of that. Her favorite thing is going to be family, because yes, none of these people are related to her by blood. Well, one of them technically is, but I do not want to spoil things for you, so I will not tell you that. And where I'm at in the book, I still don't think she considers her family, even though they are blood. Anyways, moving on. She ends up considering these people family. Jax, Ginny, Ben, they're her family now. And so that's the one thing that she's going to love around that time, to be able to be with these three people who have been through so much with her, who has been on her side. Well, Ben's been on her side since the moment he met her. Jax and Jenny, a little not so much, but they're like always on her side. Like I said, don't spoil too much for you, just little things. So yeah, so eventually family would be the one thing that makes her really happy. So yeah. Let's see. Number 4 is your MC and their love interest step under the mistletoe. What do they do? So it depends on like when in the book this would be, because like I don't want to spoil who their love interest is. Because let's just say how do I explain this without spoiling? Okay, if you don't want spoilers, then just move along. Because I really hope you guys do read my book. It's Jasmine Perez and the Wicked Sorcerer, available on Amazon. So please check it out. The sequel should be published, I'm hoping, on the 1st, but if not, then sometime in January. So yeah. So anyways, so if you don't want spoilers, then move along a couple minutes. I still won't give you his name, but once you start reading and you can see someone, and the spoiler could help you figure out who I was talking about. So I'm still not going to give you his name though, so there's a little mystery there. So basically, Jasmine and this person does not get along at all at first. I mean, she doesn't get along with her future best friend at all at first either. So Jasmine and him would, like, if they get stuck in the mistletoe when they're hating each other, I can see them both just standing there. At first they'd be shocked and like don't know what to do, and then they would just kind of start glaring at each other, and they both just somewhat simultaneously turn around and walk away, and then everyone would just be like, moving on now, because that was awkward. I can still see that happening, like seriously. But then later in the first book, when they finally admit their feelings for each other, Jasmine still fights a little bit because she doesn't want to let herself want him, because she's a princess, he's not a prince, and they can't technically be together. She's supposed to marry a prince, a future king, for her people, because that's like the rules of princess, rules of royalty, and she doesn't want to let herself love him when she doesn't think they can ever be together. She finally lets that go, but yeah. So in book 2, for a good half of the book, they're not even together. Long story, like I said, don't want to spoil things for you. But I don't think they have even shared the second kiss yet. Anyways, so yeah. In the second book, if that happens, even though there's a lot going on, they would both be happy that they have at least that moment, because they're like in the middle of a war where it's like Jasmine is in the center, and everyone around her is kind of not really in the center like she is, but kind of circling the center, if that makes any sense, because technically she's in the center, but they're all with her, so they're in just as much danger for just being with her. So it's like they're near the center, but not in it. Okay. But with everything going on, I can see them unless it's like literally in the middle of a war, neither one of them is stupid enough to just go ahead and be like, okay, I'll kiss you. No, but if they do get stuck in the middle, so I can see them sharing that moment and like kissing without hesitation, because they're just, or maybe in the second book they'll probably hesitate a little bit because their relationship is still so new, especially since right after they, this is a long explanation, forgive me, but it's like after they admit how they feel, they get separated for a while, and then so they didn't even really have a chance to evolve their relationship before so in the second book, I can see them be hesitant a little bit, but then be like, okay. And then third book, they'll be like, they won't even hesitate if they get stuck on mistletoe in the third book. They'll just will smile and be like, okay, we'll kiss, and then yeah, and they'll probably make it a long kiss too, unless they get like interrupted or anything. So yeah, that was a long explanation. I did not mean for it to be that long. Number 5, who's on the naughty list? So this is probably a basic answer, but I'm going to go with the villains. I'm only going to say one villain name though, because I don't want to spoil the other one, because the other one you don't find out until the middle of the first book that's even a villain. So I'm just going to say Lilac, because you find out she's the villain from after in the third chapter, yeah, because at the end of the first chapter, Lilac attacks, and then in the second chapter, a shorter chapter, is pretty much, I don't want to really say too much, but basically she was unconscious in the second chapter. And then in the third chapter is when she confronts Lilac and finds out what Lilac is doing, and then she kidnapped her entire kingdom, this and that. So yeah. Then number 6 is, how would your main character decorate their home? Jasmine, unlike most royalty, isn't really extravagant. She doesn't really care about the whole huge things, and especially, like I said, with her being, when she was younger, Christmas isn't something she would really be all over. This isn't something she would just absolutely love, because she wouldn't have those warm feelings except for the moments she spent with Alice. I do see Alice convincing her to decorate, not decorate that much, probably just decorate. Alice, what I see happening is Alice decorating her room and Jasmine's room, because she wouldn't want Elijah to get all mad from all these Christmas decorations, because he's so a Grinch. He would be the king Grinch, like seriously. Elijah is Jasmine's dad, by the way. So she would just decorate her room and Jasmine's room for the occasion, but she'll do it in a way that, but she knows Jasmine better than anyone, so she would put decorations that she knows Jasmine will like, so she'll put out simple things to make Jasmine happy. Simple decorations, pretty and enough to be noticeable, that it's different, that it's pretty, but not something so extravagant where it's like everywhere and it's all pink and glittery and lacy. It's just gonna be simple little things, and then Jasmine will walk into her room and be awestruck and just be, and for 5 minutes be full of pure happiness. And now I want to include scenes like this in my books. Seriously, is there a thing about writing fiction about your own story? Because I so want to see things to happen now, but I don't even think Christmas, where they're from, live in a whole other realm, so I don't even think Christmas is a thing in their realm. Like, seriously, I never really thought of it, but yeah, Christmas isn't really a thing that happens in their realm. Okay. Number 7, who throws the New Year's Eve party? So I'm going with Ava. Now, I'm not going to really spoil who Ava's character is, because that's a big spoiler. Well, maybe not a big one, not as big as some other spoilers, but it is a pretty good spoiler. So, but basically, she acts very motherly and nurturing. At least she tries to. And I can see everyone else like not wanting to throw a New Year's Eve party, because I mean, Jax and Jenny, they're not gonna be like Jax and Jenny aren't Grinches, but they're definitely not someone who's all gung-ho about the holiday, and probably with them not growing up with not that much, they probably don't really care either way about Christmas. They don't love it, they don't hate it, they're just like, meh, it's just another day kind of thing. And then with Ben's concerned, I actually see him like actually liking Christmas a lot. Maybe not being all excited about it, but I can still see him being a fan of it and liking to do all the Christmassy things, you know, buying presents for everyone and getting the Christmas tree, getting the decorations, getting the food and the everything. I can just see him wanting to do that, but I can still see Ava being the one to throw the New Year's Eve party. I can see her going to Ben and asking for his help to kind of make everyone else happy, especially Jasmine. And they'll just agree, and he'll just agree because he's always about making people happy because it's Ben. So I can definitely see Ava trying to get in Jasmine's good graces by throwing this New Year's Eve party. So yeah, my answer is Ava. Number 8 is, what would be your MC's New Year's resolution? And my answer is that she can make a real change as queen. So she wants to change things as the queen, but she doesn't think she has that power because it's usually like all about the king. The king makes the decisions and stuff, the queen, and that's why a princess has to marry a prince, a future king, because it's like she can't do these things by herself. But Jasmine is like, no, just no. She wants to make a change, a real change. She doesn't want to she wants to be there for her people, but she wants to make things better for her people. Because that's the thing about Jasmine, she's extremely selfless. She doesn't think about herself or what she wants. She just thinks about what's best for her people. That's why she went along with her dad's ideas, his everything for so long, because she just wants to make everyone else happy. Kind of like Ben. Honestly, they're a lot alike if you think about it. So yeah. And they're just so, and I think, so Jasmine just wants to make a change. She wants to make it so, well, she does want, I can't speak. Jax did make her realize that she can make a real change towards the end of the first book, and so she's starting to think that maybe she can. Ava still doesn't think she can, or I don't think I actually wrote that part yet. I think that's going to be in the second book or maybe the third book. But basically, Ava doesn't think she can make a change because it's never been that way, because queens don't get to make a real change. They don't have a voice, and Jasmine's like, no, I have my voice, and I'm not going to let anyone take it away. I can actually really want to make this quote. I really want Jasmine to be like, I finally found my voice after all these years, and I'm not letting anyone take it away from me. Oh my gosh, I really like that. Okay, I have to write that down. Okay, I'm gonna write it down after this video. I shouldn't forget. Actually, I'm gonna write down on the notepad that I'm on, and then I'll just copy and paste it to the one that's where my book. So what did I say it was? I finally found my voice after all these years, and I will not let anyone take it away from me. I actually really like that quote, so yeah. Yay. Okay. So yeah, and so that would definitely be her New Year's resolution. So number 9 is, does your main character have a holiday tradition? And which I've mentioned before, no, because for the fact that, you know, I guess in a way she has a holiday tradition, but her only tradition would basically be hanging out with Alice. You know, Alice helping her cook and decorating her room for her, and getting her a beautiful new holiday dress for the day, and helping her with her hair and her makeup, and finding the right tiara for the holiday. And I think that would be her only tradition, the only one she would even really care about, because she gets to spend the day with the one person that loves her and the one person that would do anything for her, that's always there for her. So yeah. Number 10. Who's the number 1 person your main character will want to spend the holiday with? So there's not just one person, honestly. Before the series, obviously Allison would be the only person she cares about spending the holiday with, but after she meets these people that she cares about She's not gonna just choose one over the others that she wants to spend time with. No, she's gonna choose Jax, Ginny, and Ben. They're the people that matter most to her, and they're the people that she's going to want to spend the holidays with. Honestly, if my book ever gets popular, which I hope it does, I don't know why, but for some reason I can just see Ben being a very underrated character, and it makes me sad already to think about it, but I hope I give him enough scenes in my series so he's not underrated, because honestly, he's such a sweetheart, and I love him. I mean, Jasmine's my favorite character, obviously, but Ben's definitely up there, you know, he's just... Okay. Number 11 is, what's your MC's perfect holiday destination? Honestly, I don't think she'd really care where she was as long as she's with those she loves, you know? I mean, she never left the palace before she ends up having to leave at the beginning of the first book, because she has no choice but to leave to defeat the sorcerer, save her people and all that. So she never really left her palace, so back then she did dream about adventure constantly. She dreamt that she could get out, that she could have everything she's ever wanted, and she technically has gotten that adventure now. But she still didn't want. But it's still like she didn't have just a specific place she wanted to go. She just wanted to get out. She didn't care where, even if it was just to the edge of her kingdom, or even if it was just in the village in the kingdom at all. Just looking around, seeing all the people, her people, you know, going into all the stores and seeing all the amazing sights, you know, even if it's something that simple, because she's not someone that goes extravagant. She's not someone that wants to go to Paris or London or somewhere big. She's someone who wants to do simple things in life, you know, because she's never had really much of anything, and a lot of those people want those extravagant things, but all she wants is these simple things in life, happiness, and she wouldn't care where she goes as long as she's with those she loves. Number 12, who would ruin the holiday picture with funny faces? So that would be Zeke. You don't actually meet him in the first book, but they do mention him. I don't think they mention his name in the first book, but they do technically mention him at least once, maybe twice. But yeah, he is a kid. He's, how old did I say he was? I think he's a preteen, almost a teenager, or no, I think I said he was 13. So yeah, he's technically a teenager. I think he was 13. I might have to relook at that, but I think I said he was 13. So, he's a kid. He can be goofy and stuff. He's kind of thrown into this battle. You know, he's one of those just kids that gets thrown into the battle. So, he was kidnapped by Lilac because she wants to use someone he cares. I don't want to spoil too much. She wants to use someone he cares about to get them to do what she wants by kidnapping Zeke, because this person cares about Zeke more than anything in the world. And so she wants to, so yeah, and so you don't always get to see that side of him because he is thrown into these serious situations, but he can be a goofy kid and lighthearted and funny, and he would just be the person that makes all the funny faces during the photos just to goof off and be different. And that's it. That was the last one. So yay! That's the end of this tag. This was fun. So please like and subscribe and comment your answers for this tag, or if you want to do this tag, then please tag me in it. I'm going to tag a couple of people, but I do tag everyone, so anyone who wants to do this, please do this. I'm going to tag Brittany and Books, Peyton Reeves, and is that all? Yeah, that's all. I know I'm choosing them because I know they write. Oh wait, Haley and Bookland writes too, so I'll tag her too. The three of them are booktubers that write as well, so I'm gonna tag them if they want to do this tag. I would love if you guys do this tag, and anyone else wants to do this tag, you can go ahead and say I tag you, because I tag everyone. So please follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Goodreads. My username is the same as here as Secret Books. My Wattpad name is Author Johara Harper. Then I also have Facebook groups. I know I have a lot of things. A Facebook group called Book Addicts for if you're obsessed with books and you just want to talk about it, because obviously. Then I also have Seekers, Warriors, Survivors, and Bravelands, which are about Aaron Hunter's 4 series, because I love them. And then I have Johara Harper's Books, which is just a group about my updates, about when I'm updating my books and this and that. And so yeah. And so this was fun, and I'll talk to you guys later.